U.S. Bank is proud to join Deluxe as a partner in Season 5 of the Small Business Revolution, bringing their passion for small business to Fredonia, New York. For more financial tips and resources, go to usbank.com/SBR.
I would love to introduce you to the businesses that are going to be featured in Season 5.
Yes! Woo-hoo!
So we can't wait to work with Debbie from Vineyards Golf. She's got a heart for golf, and she's really trying to democratize the sport, so we can't wait to work with her on the small business revolution.
I love that this business is a golf course.
Well, I can't wait to introduce you to Debbie. So she is bringing back a public 18-hole course here to Fredonia, and it's going to be great.
How's your golf game?
Have you seen Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
It's like that, but better.
Wow.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
Hi there.
It's Ty.
Oh my God, I love the classic school-ish look to this
great
place.
in here.
It's old school.
Yes.
All right, well, we're at a course, so can we take a few swings?
Yes, we
Of course.
Let's do it.
The opening tee is a long par 4. Pennington struggles on the tee box and the greens and out of the rough.
Fairway.
Yes, and the fairways.
Okay, so Amanda, the bet is whoever is closest to the hole wins, meaning the loser has to wear a kilt, since it's school-ish, on the last day of the Small Business Revolution.
Kilts it is.
And a hush falls over the crowd as both golfers step into the tee box at the same time.
Highly unorthodox.
It is, David, but remember, these are bitter rivals. He's not going to be happy with that.
You're going to look great in that kilt.
Oh.
Small towns across the country are fighting for their survival with the odds stacked against them. But what happens if we join that fight? If we dedicate a little money, a lot of experience, and thousands of hours of work into one town, focusing on the businesses at the heart of their Main Street? The revolution became a national movement with over 30,000 towns nominated for a $500,000 makeover and more than 1 million votes cast for the Season 5 winner.
Hello, Fredonia!
But what started as a revitalization for Fredonia, New York, became a desperate struggle for small businesses across the country. Amanda Brinkman and her team of marketing experts at Deluxe are rolling up their sleeves, doing what they do for millions of small businesses every day. And they're not alone. Renovation icon Ty Pennington will be working with the team to rehabilitate the town's buildings, while a whole cast of experts and partners help Fredonia's entrepreneurs face down a global economic crisis. Every episode, we'll be working with a new small business to see if we can change the odds. If in a moment unlike anything this team has ever seen, we can keep the revolution alive.
There's other country clubs in the area, your higher end golf. They make you feel like you have to be a great golfer, dress a certain way, act a certain way. We are not that course.
When I first learned the game, I played up here. I didn't take up golf till later in life, like I was like 20, 23 years old, I think, something like that.
That's everyday Joe's here. You know, a lot of retirees.
The course has been around since 1936. It was 18 holes originally for 60-some years. It split, 9 holes one owner, 9 holes another owner. People were choosing sides.
Sides. Yeah, they choose their favorite side, and that's where they played.
The owner on the front nine lived out of town. They weren't from this area. You know, the quality of the course just started falling apart and getting less and less.
It didn't look like a golf course, let's put it that way. The place was a disaster.
Debbie purchased the golf course, and she had to rebuild your greens, your fairways, your tee boxes, get the grass to grow again, get everything back to par.
Back to par, yeah.
I think everybody's really optimistic that 18 holes are going to be kept neat, so it's kind of fun, you know.
Get down fast.
Everyone appreciates all that she does for the community because it's nostalgic for many people and really appreciate she has brought it back. It's like an icon.
She saved the place, really.
Some golfers here talk, they're gonna get a statue up to Debbie.
I said, they better not. That's just nuts.
I was working at a big box construction store, and Debbie said, "Want to come work with me?" I know she's a risk taker, and I trusted and believed in her, so. But it's nerve-wracking.
Yes, it's very nerve-wracking. A lot can go wrong on a golf course.
You know, day to day, you're dealing with, maintenance of the course, maintenance of the clubhouse. You never know what's going to happen. Parts do break. Those parts are expensive. Some parts you can't even find anymore. Brand new machines cost $80,000 upwards. Used equipment costs anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000.
That blew my mind how much used equipment was. Yeah. So each season, you just think that, okay, this money's got to go. We got to get this. We just do so much each time, so much each time. And I'm also bar manager of a Don Polsky's club in Dunkard. Probably work about 60 hours a week there. It's just very busy, very time-consuming to do all the managing.
Struggles, as every business has, I guess. So going through this whole process with SBR is an overwhelming and exciting process.
I can't wait till the marketing that they're going to do is going to be awesome. That would jump us up just with the marketing. It's exciting, but it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Debbie's vision of a low-key, low-cost golf club caught our eye because it transforms a historically exclusive sport into something that brings all walks of life together. But golf is a complicated business, and Debbie had to go deep into her own pocket just to get the course into playing shape. We have to make sure that investment pays off, so we're getting some help from Mike Leckraft, General Manager and Director of Golf at Legends Club, Minnesota's premier public golf course. Mike didn't just guide Legends to recognition as National Course of the Year, he has won several national tournaments himself.
Hi. Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
This is Mike.
Hi, Mike. I'm Debbie.
How you doing?
Hi, Mike.
Jason.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
Jason.
to meet you.
Yeah.
This is so exciting.
This is
Should we
beautiful.
show around?
Yep.
Yep.
This way first?
This is our lounge area. The guys have snacks in here. They hang out in here and relax.
Is this the main dining area? So if someone orders food, is this where they're...
Yes.
Well, I love the nostalgic feel.
Oh,
the
what a
carpet's
great
great, the wood paneling.
Yep.
It's a cool look.
This is our office area, pro shop. Maybe check in.
Okay. So if people were to want merchandise, do they just ask for you to bring it over?
They just come back instead of carrying everything out.
I mean, I feel like this is kind of an opportunity for them around kind of having a little bit more robust retail.
Right.
This is our bar area here.
This bar services customers in the restaurant and for the outside here?
Yeah, anybody want to sit here, we get the bar stool set up here in the summer, the door will be open.
Yeah.
It's our outdoor patio area.
Love
We
it.
have about 4 or 5 tables up here and umbrellas.
So you can really see a lot of golf from here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You can
that's
see
fun.
out of the front 9 here.
Last season was the first full season with 18 holes. Every year it's getting better and better and better.
It's great.
We have a lot to talk about anyway from a business perspective. Should we sit down?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Here's what I find fascinating. In running a golf course, you're actually running a hospitality business, food and beverage, a retail through the pro shop. It's a bit of a landscaping business.
Yeah, when we're doing our budgeting, a lot of it really wraps around dollars per round. What is it producing between your food and beverage, your golf green fees, your cart revenue, and merchandise that generate revenue for your facility?
Okay, so let's kind of break down the business by kind of those 4 categories. Let's talk a little bit about your pro shop. You have a rack in there and some balls. You just want to build out that retail space in a way that invites. And I think people will buy more if they're in there picking things up themselves.
Yeah.
And
It's advertising.
yeah, it's advertising, so it's a win-win-win, really.
So, Mike, we're looking to try to get your TaylorMade, your Callaway, your name brand golf equipment in here to sell it. But I've reached out to these places and no responses back.
I can definitely help with that, connecting with my Minnesota guys, and they can reach out and know that you're here.
Great.
Yeah.
So last year you invested quite a bit in getting the front 9 back up to playable conditions. How much do you think you invested in doing that?
I have over $100,000 invested into it. My savings account. We had a lot of equipment. We had to buy tractors, and the equipment, as you know, is not cheap. It's expensive.
Right.
I personally wanted to spend money on new carts.
Sure.
Those carts are just, we just purchased them all last year, but they're old.
Okay.
They're constantly breaking down.
Once they start going, they all of a sudden, if they don't get that updated maintenance, it just becomes a really big issue.
Mm-hmm.
If you're continuing to have trouble keeping your fleet going, there could be some type of a lease set up, so it wouldn't be a huge investment like golf carts can be. You're not alone. That happens at every golf course. So.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your current food and beverage program.
It's very small. As you can see, it's a limited. We just serve burgers, and we sell a canned beer. We sell it pretty cheap. It's $2 a can. That's very reasonable.
Your beer prices are low, so there's an opportunity for revenue there. People won't leave if it's $3, whatever it is. I mean, that's not going to send them out the door. For us, it's all about that experience from the minute they get here to the minute they leave, that they feel really welcome.
Makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's making sense. Yeah. I would much rather prefer to keep the cost of the golf low and then raise the other stuff, because they, like I said, they're coming to play golf.
What are some of the other areas that they could be looking at in terms of driving more revenue?
Anything that can bring in those, the reunions or the weddings, social functions that the club would facilitate and get people to come to the club and see what's happening.
We have a bunch of reunions every year, but they leave to go have food somewhere else.
Sure.
They always don't hang out here because there's not a big facility, So it's getting them to stay here now,
We've done some great outdoor events, and you could do a food truck of some kind. Those have become very trendy, and people love to come out, and you're just here as the facilitator of the event.
But do you feel like the local community is fully aware that the course is back together, that we brought Humpty Dumpty back together again?
No.
So marketing will be key to that.
Right. Huge.
And it's also bringing new people into the game.
That's such an important part, is developing, new players and young players and continuing that growth. So that's a big piece.
Yes.
Do you feel like you were profitable last year?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. But I know that can go quickly on a golf course. So I think as we're getting more into the finances, we'll want to make sure that we're building out your budget to save for those rainy day, unexpected costs that we just know are going to come up. So we still have a little bit of work to do to determine and prioritize. We need to really continue to keep our foot on the gas here. Like, we have to drive revenue, get more golfers in, drive events. Right now, there's a little bit of bubble gum and duct tape happening, and I think that we just need to get them to a more financial, stable place and allow Debbie to pay herself back.
It's a continuous battle, so I know hopefully they're up for the challenge of that.
Mike's insight into all the ways that golf courses can and should bring in revenue immediately impacted the approach we'd take to renovations.
I don't think you want to waste any money on sort of redoing this. No. I think the nostalgia is the best part.
Absolutely. This place.
I love walking into a space and being awed by it. Sure, you could upgrade it and make it nicer, but the beauty of it is its originality. What we can help them out with is giving them more space, a place where they can actually have big gatherings, because that's where they can make more money.
So we've been talking a lot about adding more events and really start marketing those.
And then it would be off season, like now, you can be having that stuff going on while we're not golfing.
Looking back now, it feels like a million years ago that we were talking about bringing large groups of people together at the course. We didn't abandon those early ideas. Our goal was to set Vineyards up for long-term success. But in the short term, everything we'd ever taken for granted about running a small business was about to change.
The whole town is basically shut down. It's getting a lot more scarier, everything that they keep telling us to do and to stay safe. We're not open yet, so that can have a big impact for us. A big impact all around town.
No one knows how long this is going to last. We're going to open as soon as they allow us to.
There's a lot of changes that we're going to have to make to even open. I don't know what we're going to really do yet.
With the precious months of playable golf weather fast approaching, Debbie and Jason had no idea what the 2020 season was going to look like, and state guidelines were changing every day. The team from Deluxe spent those early weeks of limbo doing everything we could to help get Vineyards ready for golf in the COVID era.
I wanted to show you just some of the updates that we did to your existing website. We put in COVID-19 guidelines, and we updated your rates and membership.
Sounds good.
Can we talk a little bit about the online booking?
Yeah, for us, utilizing the online booking system helps that individual prepay.
Some of these safety precautions and different things that we're starting to put into place in our businesses aren't going to go away, for quite some time. Then this is the right time to kind of, again, put that technology bed in place.
We're open to whatever. We just really haven't thought about it. Like I said, everything's too new.
In mid-April, after weeks of uncertainty, Governor Cuomo announced that golf courses would be allowed to reopen with a healthy dose of new restrictions. Back in Minneapolis, we gathered at the command center with a few new restrictions of our own to try and tackle some of those immediate problems while always keeping an eye toward the future. What can Debbie think through in terms of kind of cart fleet. I mean, do you think it's going to become required where people have to take separate carts to maintain social distancing if they're not within the same household? Or?
Yeah, the golf carts are probably a priority. You know, we're going to try to bring in some additional cart fleet to try to do single cart riders for a while. I can definitely help connecting with some type of a lease setup.
Yeah, so what can we do to set up Debbie for success on the other side of this? Because it feels like we could invest in something that allows them to host larger events once they're safe and allowed again.
Yeah, and I think what we're really looking for, right, is something that's affordable. So something like a pole barn that can really go up pretty quickly, that's not super expensive to make, but it's got a lot of square feet.
So like at Legends, like what would you even estimate your percentage of revenue is just from things like weddings and reunions?
It's probably 15 or 20% of our total gross revenue, but I feel like golf in this time is really in a fortunate position because all of this is happening in our preseason. You know, there's been a lot of anticipation about new golfers coming back to play. And
so it's a perfect opportunity to build them a new website. A lot of people don't even know that Vineyards has been, reunited as an 18-hole course. The current one isn't mobile friendly. You can't book tee times.
You know, with the kind of the unknown of how much access golfers are going to have to the clubhouse, that online being able to pay in advance, is going to be really an important piece. But we feel like there could be a great opportunity for golf to have a very successful year, even, with everything kind of crazy stuff going on throughout the world.
With the golf course set to open in a few days, Debbie went from uneasy limbo to serious double duty, juggling day-to-day operations with remote collaboration on Vineyards' brand overhaul.
One of the goals that we have at Deluxe is to help Vineyards not only brand themselves, but also to convey this message that this place is youthful, whether you're a teenager, even younger, or college age, that this is a cool place to hang for a few hours.
All right, your first mood board viewing.
A big part of this was really more focused on fun, lighthearted.
I like that a lot. It looked like people were having a blast.
You're all about the fun.
Yep.
The early phases of brand building are all about finding inspiration, and seeing what others have done well is a good place to start. So we hooked Debbie and Jason up with a virtual tour of Legends Golf Club.
All right, so as you walk into our golf shop, what we try to do is go company by company with our displays. So you'll see, a Callaway ball display with Callaway golf bags. A lot of it is impulse, somebody forgets their shoes or wins a gift card. Almost everything in our shop is branded with the Legends logo. So we probably sell in excess of 1,000 hats every year. And from a retail standpoint, that's a big thing. Are you finding that what you've got for carts is enough, or are you running out at times with the course being so busy, or how is that working for you?
Been close.
It's been close, real close.
Yeah. I ordered 10 more and added to our fleet.
I'm seeing a lot of new faces out there, a lot of different faces.
As scary as this has been, it might be a real boost for the golf industry.
And there's so many more people just to get out, are coming out. First-time golfers and stuff like that, you see a lot now.
That's great. That's awesome.
The 2020 golf boom inspired the team at Deluxe to fast-track their branding work. People were finding their way into the sport, and we had to make sure Vineyards caught that wave.
Your current logo, it does feel a little bit dated, and we felt like it would really be helped by having some type of icon. The idea behind this, kind of just playing off that vine, is also supposed to suggest the golf clubs.
And like 1 and 4.
Number 1 and number 4, I think, are good departures from your current logo into a future logo.
We had hoped to bring Debbie and Jason up to Minnesota to speed along the branding process and maybe get in around at Legends, but COVID spoiled those plans. For her part, Debbie took the news well enough.
This is the whole thing that I was looking forward to the most. Obviously, I don't like being on camera and stuff like that and talking in front of people. Amanda makes me nervous as hell. I don't know why.
In the end, I had to settle for making Debbie nervous over video chat, while the Deluxe team took her through a strategy to build Vineyards' online presence and add another revenue stream to her bottom line.
The website that you currently have, as you can see, I'm looking at it on a phone just because that's probably where most of the potential golfers are trying to find golf options. Mobile responsiveness is going to be vital. When there are messages like website is currently under construction, sometimes people assume that's the same for the golf course. And we know that we're trying to overcome the stigma that Vineyards is not open. So we're excited to take down this site, the current site, but rebuild something that really tells your story.
Another way that we can definitely get the word out that you are open for business is through social media.
So, as we kind of look at your social media right now, but we're going to update it, but there's people out there all the time too, and the golf course is beautiful. Jason, I think you're kind of the main leader for social media, is that right?
Correct.
If you have golfers out there on the course, adding a photo is a simple, easy hack that's going to increase your engagement by like 2 times. It's going to kind of keep that chain effect going and going.
Sounds great.
And you can also encourage all of your followers on social media, if they buy a shirt that has your logo on it, encourage them to share and post about that as well.
Yes, they could hashtag the Vineyards, and that will help promote the items that you sell. We've got a lot of nice high-end brands like the Nike Dry Fit. We've got Under Armour, OGO. It's a great opportunity to increase the income that's coming in through just the pro shop.
Another thing that we have talked about for weeks is your point of sale system.
I'm willing to try it. What happens if I don't like it? Can I get out of it?
What makes you nervous, Debbie?
I don't know. I'm just afraid I don't want it to take business away from us by saying, look, we can't go there. All the tee times are booked, because it's not the case. We can always get you out there.
Let's take a look at point of sale system and online booking as 2 different things. If you're open to upgrading your point of sale system, let's do that first. And then online booking as step 2.
Something to think about.
But you have to do the online booking. I mean, people expect to be able to do those kinds of transactions via a mobile device and online now, especially if you're trying to attract younger audiences.
We do get the call, do I have to book a tee time? Can I just come there?
Maybe your current customers aren't doing that, but they're already there. But we'll never be able to really track how many people would have booked a tee time but don't want to have to make a phone call. We'll never really know how many people we're losing. There's really only upside to doing this. It's just one more way to get people on the course. And you can still take phone calls, you can still do walk-ins.
And if people like it and you're able to accommodate everybody, then it's a win-win.
Okay, I am willing to try this.
Debbie was totally open to changing her brand, but what she wasn't open to is technology that would help her operation. We actually are partnering with Clover, offering some merchant services. She and I have a wager on whether or not that tool is going to get used, so I hope I win.
What we're looking at right over here is the Clover station. So this is what it's going to look like when you're taking an order, and then customer would be able to see their total being rung up, and then they'd also use any method of contactless payment.
Our college crowd's back in town, and they're used to paying with cards. They don't carry cash.
Nope, they don't.
So.
One thing Debbie was sure she wanted was a pole barn, but project managing major construction via Zoom was proving interesting.
Ah, yes, the Vineyards.
So we know we want to do a pole barn. We know where it would go. So as you can see, it's right behind, right now, the maintenance shed. There's a perfect space for it.
Looking at the plans, this is ambitious. This is a huge structure, and considering the time that we're trying to do it in, is this even going to be possible?
We really don't know. So, first of all, we're having a hard time getting the permits for it. Second, we're getting incredibly different bids from different contractors. Some are bailing on us.
Well, let me ask you this. What's the fallback? What do we do then?
Cancel the episode? There is no fallback. We knew from talking to Mike that events could play a huge role in any golf course's bottom line. It's why we kept fighting for that pole barn. But the truth was, we still didn't have a ton of insight into Vineyards finances. So we called in financial expert Morris Jackson from US Bank to crack open the books.
I knew it was going to be a 5-year plan to pay myself back. But the end of last season, I sat down with my accountant and we went over everything, and she told me that we have to make a lot more money if we're going to keep running this business. I feel better about it this year. I believe that we can gross around 300 something.
Debbie, I know we're not dealing with normal times, and so it's kind of hard to establish a baseline normal for the actual business. But have you broken down your fixed costs to run the course? Not variable costs, not costs that are going to catch you by surprise, but what are your fixed costs?
I would say it's around 150 probably to run it for the season with everything.
Okay, with the 2 land purchases, is that the 2 sides of the course?
That's both sides of the course.
Okay, is that the mortgage? Or is that a loan?
Those are loans.
The payments together $6,500 a month. A lot of the money I was taking out of my pocket And I was trying to I wanted to get ahead of the game, so if we did have a bad month or something, that they're still paid, that it's still covered.
So basically, you're personally rescuing the business. Like, you're using your personal dollars to make sure that you're paying back these loans that you secured to originally purchase the course and make some of the initial repairs.
For now, yes.
Do you make enough income to offset those expenses going forward?
I honestly don't know. Because the season's been just so weird, different.
Now, talk to me a little bit about the sales. So you're generating sales from the round of golf and then membership as well.
Yes.
What's the general cost per round?
$20 for 9 holes, $30 for 18 holes.
To walk or ride?
To ride. To ride.
To ride. Yeah, I'm definitely moving. I'm moving to Fredonia. Yeah.
Yes, this
is. So how many months is there an off season?
6.
So really, you have 6 months to generate the income you need.
Right.
So you're anticipating a good year. Income will be about $300,000. Expenses $150,000, and then the loans.
Yeah.
Your profit margins is what I'm concerned with. By the time you pay yourself back for this investment, the math I came up with would take us decades. We got to find new ways of generating income.
New ways of generating income. That brought us back to the saga of the pole barn. But we had one more card to play to try and pull it off. Rosie, it's so good to see you again. I have another great small business to tell you about.
Can't wait to hear more.
Salesforce showed up big for Nice and Clean and literacy volunteers. This time I want to tell you about a golf course. So this is one of the few women-owned courses in the country, and they're looking to add events as another revenue stream.
That sounds amazing. How can we help?
So have you ever heard of something called a pole barn? For obvious reasons, this was the hardest season of the small business revolution we'd ever faced. But we also had more new partners step up to the plate than ever before. Vineyards wasn't just surviving the pandemic, they were taking huge leaps forward. And it was time for us to deliver a few final arrows to put in their quiver, to make sure that their success would continue for decades to come. Hi, Debbie and Jason. Let's talk about some of the fundamental branding elements that we worked with you on to kind of modernize the Vineyards brand as you move forward. So this is where we landed for your new logo. It conveys some movement, kind of that golf ball trajectory.
It's fancy,
but yet subtle.
Yep.
I love the fact that it says Fredonia, New York on it, so it really identifies where you're from. That's cool.
Whenever we're working on new branding, we always like to make sure that we're all really agreeing on kind of the look and feel that we're after. So here is your new website.
That looks nice. That looks very nice. The golfers on the side, they look like they're having fun and very casual dress. Very down to earth.
We really want to show off the course. It's a beautiful, picturesque course. We show people having a great time. We show people feeling comfortable at the Vineyards Golf Course.
The 2 ladies, they're like our regular 2 ladies. They're there every morning with me.
This is exactly why we wanted to do a real photo shoot and show real golfers that come to your course actually on your course. And there's nothing that can replace actual customers really, truly enjoying it. A good website wants to do 2 things quickly. 1, give an impression of your brand, and 2, make it easy for the visitors to your site to take the action you want them to take. We're very happy that you're willing to dabble a bit in online booking. And again, that doesn't mean that people cannot book by calling. And so we want to make sure that we have a very clear call to action right on the homepage around calling for a tee time.
That's great, because a lot of people will, like after we're closed, they will call it later on at night or whatever. That take care of that problem.
That homepage is critical. It drives people into all the pages that follow. It's really easy to navigate.
Yes, approved by everyone. So then we've built out a page that is all about the course. Especially if people haven't golfed at Vineyards before and are new to the course, we want to really give them a sense for what they're going to experience there.
We notice our golfers all the time will go, literally hole by hole through and kind of almost play the golf course in their mind. So having the descriptions is really an awesome addition to your website. That's really cool.
And we want to make sure that we're making it very clear to golfers who might be considering membership as well as rates for coming out for a round. This site will be very easy for you to update if you do make pricing adjustments in the future. We just want to make it as easy for you as possible. So then we also want to make sure we have a specific Contact Us page.
That'll be very useful for people.
We had someone yesterday call 4 times trying to figure out how to find us.
As we learned from day one, the golf industry is complicated. Our challenge was to build a website deep enough to show off everything from food and beverage to golf lessons to big events without losing that accessible down-home charm that makes Vineyards so unique.
Yeah, the website feels like us, definitely.
Yes, it does.
And they feel welcome, like they're at home. And it looks easy to maneuver.
Now Fredonia has a beautiful 18-hole course, and each year it's going to just keep getting better and better.
I guarantee that people around Fredonia and the surrounding areas are super thrilled that they're seeing all of this come back, and really kudos to you guys for putting all your time and energy into it, and Debbie for your financial efforts into it as well. I understand, that fight, that, trying to grow your business and trying to attract golfers, because I feel like I've been there. So they're doing all the right things. So it's fun for me to be part of it.
Okay, so underneath your table is a bag full of some items I want to walk through.
Oh, look at this.
All right, this is gonna be like Christmas.
Cooler.
I like those.
Yay.
Vineyards polo.
Oh yeah.
Very sharp. I like those.
Yep.
This is what the lady's been asking for, so this would be awesome.
I could sell both of those yesterday.
Yeah. The balls are very sharp.
We branded professional golf gear. We want to make sure that you have a variety of options to sell within the pro shop. This is a great revenue opportunity for you. So there's our scorecard. There's our branded scorecard.
Shopping bags.
Shopping bags.
For all those pro shop sales you're going to be making. Deluxe creates merch for small businesses all over the country. We'll put a logo on just about everything because it's one of the absolute best ways to get your name out there. But in golf, swag isn't just a way to boost your visibility. It's built into the business model.
Yeah.
Nice hats.
Love the
Very
logo.
nice.
That's cool.
Good job, Amanda.
It'll be great. We don't have a whole lot right now, so to see all this coming forward is going to be, it's great. It's amazing.
So there's one other thing that I wanted to tell you about. As you know, whenever we're working with the businesses, we dedicate a budget for physical renovations. And so the thing that we were really, really focused on was the pole barn. But we kept going back and forth with different contractors and the cost of it. So Salesforce is coming on as a partner this season. And just like you're democratizing the game of golf, they are really all about democratizing technology for businesses of all sizes. And just like you're all about customer relationships, they're all about customer relations as well. And so they were really moved by your story and what you're trying to do at the course. And so they have come forward with $5,000 to help finish the pole barn.
It's fantastic.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's very moving, very nice.
All overwhelming a little bit.
I have one more surprise, but I wish I was there in person. So I have a helper on that side, someone from within your bubble.
What the hell are you doing here?
So we know that you guys were really disappointed that you couldn't come to Minnesota. We were disappointed that you couldn't come to Minnesota, and so Deluxe is going to fly you both to Minnesota to play Legends, to see Mike again in person.
Awesome.
Nice.
Set up some lessons for me, Mike, because I need them.
All right, here we go.
A short list of things to do to hold on to your sanity during COVID. Get outside. Go somewhere pretty if you can. Try to find a safe way to see friends. Move your body. And look for community wherever you can find it. Sometimes, talking to Debbie, it seemed like she brought back the Vineyards golf course just because she felt like somebody had to do it. It wasn't important that it was hers, just that it was there for Fredonia, because she knew it was important.
I'm just so happy that we could actually help out a business that lets us all feel for a moment that everything's okay. And to play a little part in that is something I think we can all be proud of.
You don't have to win the small business revolution to get the marketing makeover that will take your business to the next level. To find out how Deluxe can help your small business, go to deluxe.com/revolution.
Salesforce is committed to helping small businesses tackle big challenges, and we're honored to join Deluxe in the small business revolution,
working alongside the entrepreneurs of Fredonia, New York,
to help one town get through these extraordinary times.
Visit salesforce.com/smallbusiness to learn more.
Literacy Volunteers has been an anchor of education in Fredonia for over 50 years.
I love the fact that there's a place where people can become whoever they want to be.
But unforeseen circumstances have pushed Julie LeGros and her team of tutors to their limit.
The pandemic has affected every business.
Like most nonprofits, we run on a shoestring budget.
It is all hands on deck as the Small Business Revolution team gets to work helping literacy volunteers continue to provide a much-needed service to the community.
Are you kidding me?
Now streaming on Hulu, Prime Video, and smallbusinessrevolution.org.